Legislator Collins,
Yes, I'm here.
Legislator Bratt,
Present.
Legislator Godfrey. No Godfrey. Myers is out. Grosio, Legislator Grosio. No, nothing from Grosio. Legislator Elder. Nothing from Elder. Legislator Updegrove, or Legislator County Manager Updegrove. I'm living in the past.
I'm here.
Mr.
That's
Burgester is
majority, that's majority leader Updegrove.
majority leader.
Rick, I was going to say it, but I didn't want to interrupt Rich again.
Mr. Casale is here. Ms. Kleizek.
Andrea's not here today. She's got a personal matter she's taking care of. I'll
Okay.
speak to her items.
Ms. Fisk is here. And
Sue Langdon is speaking to the IDA bond item.
okay,
There
Mrs.
you
Sykes.
go.
Sue Langdon is here. Okay, reflect that. Okay, so we got anybody on that needs to be introduced, Kathy?
Everybody knows everyone.
Okay. So now we'll do the approval of the January 12, 2022 Economic Development Meeting minutes. Could I get a motion from Legislator Bratt, second by Legislator Collins? Under
Yes.
question?
Aye.
Okay. And any opposed? Not opposed? We'll consider that carried. Okay, next one. 4.0, Resolution ED 0422, budget modification to reappropriate grant funds for hazardous waste. And Amy Fisk will tell us a little bit about that one.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is our annual budget modification to our Brownfields EPA assessment grants. So this one, we had some money left over from the 2021 budget that was not spent. So we're carrying that over into the 2022 budget, and this grant will be fully expended this year. And it's 100% EPA reimbursed. So there's no cost to the county for the money.
Okay, very good. We've got a motion to do that. Legislator Bratt, second by Legislator Collins. Under question? All in favor or any opposed? Hearing none. It's considered approved. Resolution ED 00522, budget modification, reappropriate grant funds for brownfield assessment. Ms. Fisk.
Great, thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is the same thing. It's just a different EPA brownfields assessment grant. We're bringing the $30,000 that was left over from the 2021 budget, and we're putting that into the 2022 budget. So we'll have $300,000 in this grant for assessments. And again, it's no county cost, and it's 100% reimbursable from EPA.
We got Legislator Collins making the motion, and second by Legislator Bratt. Any opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution ED 00622, award contract for industrial park master site development plan. And in Andrea's stead, we've got Mr. Casale. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Sue will take on the next one. But an RFP was issued for development of a master site development plan that includes planning, engineering, and design services that are necessary to create a new industrial park on Junction Road in the town of Cambria. We received 3 responses from that RFP. A review team used the scoring matrix that was in the RFP to score each submittal, and we were looking at items like scope of work, fee proposal, project experience, organization and management, and project's timeline and timing. Wendell received the #1 ranking from each reviewer. Other proposals were from CPL Architectural and Bergman Associates. So after we reviewed, it's recommended that Wendell receive or be awarded the contract, and funding was previously allocated for this through Resolution ED 2821, which created a capital project for the program.
What was the timeline we're looking at for getting that?
The deliverable for this one was the best deliverable time date of the end of January 2023.
Okay, and that'll be we'll be able to put shovels in the ground at that point, or?
Well, we'll have hopefully we will have everything we need to go to construction. We're already beginning some research to look for some construction grant money. So we should have everything we need to go to construction after this site development plan is completed.
Okay, very good. And just so everybody knows, that was the site that was originally was going to be some sort of public works facility. Then it was going to be most recently like a helipad in the sheriff's department, right? We decided that was maybe better suited for economic development right across the street from the other economic development sites in the town of Lockport. And the town of Lockport's got quite a bit of room in their park undeveloped, from what I understand, right? And this was in response to this. We were getting kind of beat out by other counties.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Chairman. Not only other county, the entire Western New York region was losing opportunities because of a lack of available sites and buildings. So this, you're right. This is in direct response to that study that was commissioned by Invest Buffalo Niagara, and of course we were on board with that effort, and it's in direct response to that.
And do you think 60 acres is it does enough, or do we need to keep looking for further?
Personally, I think we continue to look at the sites. Yeah, I agree, Rick. Keep looking for more sites. The sites that are in that Newmark study, we need to take a look at how we can make them more development ready. And Amy is a big part of that and helping us do that. So, yeah, I agree with Rick. The more sites, the better opportunities for Niagara County.
Thank you.
I think we also take a look at, we've had some success with brownfields and reusing some of those properties with the assistance of our land bank. So I don't really, when you get to the old business, I don't really have a lot other than what I'm just saying right now, which is, we've brought on our program manager, and that's one of our priorities is to continue that. And I think that will also help. That'll be an opportunity for us in addition to obviously developing the 60 acres on Junction Road.
Okay, very well. Okay, so we got a motion to award that contract, Legislator Grant. Oh, and the second by Legislator Collins, and now it's under question.
Sorry, yeah, I had a quick question. I mean, hate to sound stupid. I understand it's an award to develop it, but by develop it, what is that? The design of the infrastructure, the roads, the sewers, the gas, electric?
That's exactly it, Will.
Okay.
The road infrastructure, the sewer is going to have to be brought in, and property utilities, and this study will tell us what we need to do to get that work done.
Okay, so but nothing will actually be constructed yet. Just get everything ready for construction, correct?
Yeah, no, exactly. Get it
Okay.
prepared and ready for construction.
This
Gotcha.
includes plans, right? Plans for like site plan type thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Engineering.
it includes engineering stamp drawings as well as all of the site plan work and any infrastructure that's going to need to be in. And then we also asked for them to give us ideas on funding for the infrastructure that would need to be brought in. So they'll come up with a plan for that too.
Sounds great. Okay, so we got
I
any?
want to give Rich before you. I want to give Andrea a lot of credit. Andrea is our team leader for site development. We work in teams here, so and Amy's on that team. So I want to give kudos where kudos are due. She does a great job keeping us all together and focused.
Very good. And Andrew is the one that brought that to our attention that they needed we needed more sites because we just got beat by Genesee County, and I called her and I said, why is this going to Genesee County and not us? And then she mentioned about the lack of developable land, and we started just searching through the county GIS what big chunks of land do we own already, and that's where this one popped up. I said, what about this one on Junction Road? And she said, I don't know about that one. And we kind of kicked it around, and then the sheriff had his eyes on putting a heliport or something there, and so that was where that kind of originated. But we're just sort of talking it out on the phone. So we've got a motion and a second. Any opposed? Okay, we'll consider that carried. We'll recommend that to the full legislature. Exciting stuff. Next one, resolution ED 00722, support for economic gardening program in Niagara County with local match for extended outreach to Niagara County companies. Mr. Cassell, would you lead off on that one?
Yes, thanks, Mr. Chairman. This resolution seeks to allocate funding that will be used in tandem with grant funding received from the Verizon Media Community Benefit Fund to allow 6 Niagara County companies to participate in this economic gardening program in 2022. The program creates an additional tool in our retention toolkit to assist emerging growth companies, and these are companies that are most likely defined by employment and sales levels, 1 to 50 million in sales, 10 to 99 employees, and have the potential for additional sustained growth, but don't have access to the sophisticated tools that the larger companies do. So this program would provide these companies with consulting and technical assistance and research to help them make informed decisions in strategic areas and to accelerate their growth potential. The grant, the way it was written by the Verizon Community Benefit Fund, would only allow for a cohort of 4 Niagara County companies, but by providing this match of $5,740, we'll have the capacity to do 6 companies and be able to hit all 3 cities of Niagara County. And there are Bridge Commission funds available to cover this match.
We had talked about this and how it would, be spread out geographically throughout the county, and for the different cities that would be, we could expand those areas, but they did target some, more sort of hard hit economic area through the Verizon grant.
Exactly.
Okay. Now we got a motion by legislator Godfrey, second by legislator Bratt. Could we, any questions? Okay. Hearing no questions. Any opposed? Okay, we've got none opposed. Okay, very good. Motion carried. Resolution ED 00822, resolution of the Niagara County Legislature as the elected legislative body as Niagara County, New York, and in accordance with Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended, approving the issuance by the Niagara Area Development Corporation of up to 90 million maximum principal amount of tax exempt or taxable multi-revenue bonds, Catholic Health System Project Series 2022. And we've got Mrs. Langdon is going to talk about that, I suppose.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you've said, the Local Development Corporation of the IDA is the Niagara County, Niagara Area Development Corporation. It's been working with Catholic Health to issue $90 million for 2 projects in Niagara County, the first and foremost of which is the new Lockport Hospital, which is 63,000 square feet new micro hospital here in Lockport. Also some improvements at St. Mary's Hospital in Lewiston, new elevators, about $3 million, and some small various projects at 3 of their other facilities, including equipment upgrades. So the IRS requires that the governing body, the Niagara County Legislature, approves these bonds. So that's what we're asking for tonight.
What is the, I'm sorry, I got a motion by legislator Collins, a second by legislator Godfrey. Under question, what does this mean to us as far as approving these bonds? What is we haven't, I don't remember doing this too often, if ever, that I've been part of this. So could you explain this a little bit to the layman here?
Yes, it's a federal government approval of the bond issue. That's all the county's involved, whereas the governing body, this one goes back to the 80s when some loosey-goosey bonds were happening, I guess, in the United States. So they're trying to the IRS was trying to tighten up the bonds that are issued. And so as the governing body, the legislature is required, I guess, just a matter of going on record and everyone knows in the IRS, first and foremost, what's being issued and what is being issued for and to who.
So are we on the hook at all for any of these bond payments or anything like that?
No.
Not at all. No involvement of the county. The company is totally responsible for the payment and all the terms.
Okay, so maybe just one more check on the company that we would maybe know that it was legit or not.
Yeah, the federal government would know, right?
Okay.
I mean, this has been vetted, it's very expensive to issue tax exempt bonds, so it's a months and months long process of going through the process.
I think, Chairman, also, I mean, in addition to the fact that there's obviously no cost to the county, I think that the fact that this is a very public process and it affords for public scrutiny and comment, I think that's one of the reasons why that would be why this arose as, as we just talked about back in the 80s.
Okay. And
And the public hearing was held for this project back in January. It was held virtually at the
Yep.
IDA. So that was the time for people to know and be able to speak. There were no comments.
sure, it's a good project. I just, yeah, I saw the 90 million in bonds, and I'm thinking, is that something that we are, kind of on the hook for? But obviously, that's not true. And then what is the tax exempt bonds for? Again, pardon my less than knowledgeable approach to this. But what is the tax exempt bonds mean to?
It's cheaper borrowing for the Catholic health system that allows them to, issue these bonds, or we issue them, but to sell these bonds to people that are not paying federal income tax. That's why they're called tax exempt. It's for the people that are buying them.
Okay.
So of that virtue, the money is cheaper rate of borrowing for the not for profit.
Okay, very good. Learn something new every day. Okay, any further questions? Okay, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor, or any opposed? Hearing none, motion is carried. Okay, from old business, we heard from Mr. Updegrove already, and then anything on the Niagara Orleans Land Improvement Corporation, Rick?
No, I didn't know though if, since Amy's on the call, relative to tax delinquent properties, we haven't talked in a while. Is there anything relative to our progress on our what's that we're looking for?
The junkyard?
Temporary TIOs. And where are we on
Yes.
that?
So Katie Alexander has been doing a great job working the temporary instance of ownership through the court system. And I think there's a few of them that we should have the TIOs soon, hopefully in a couple weeks. And then there's two sets of them. There are two properties that were in this year's foreclosure process already. So a lot of the work had been done. But then there's the big chunk of them. I think there's 10 of them that we should have those hopefully in a month or so. And we're gearing up to do more site assessments on those. And, really one of the great things that happened, especially with the junkyards, was we started doing site assessment work, and these property owners were put on notice. And some of them who haven't paid property taxes in a decade or more, they came forth and paid their taxes because they know now that the county's serious about taking these properties, because we have the resources now to be able to do something with these sites. So it's been great. It's been a great partnership, and we're moving forward with all of them.
Excellent.
I'll take a look at the updated list this week, and we'll talk about it later this week or early next week. And so that when we meet again next month, we'll have a pretty clear picture as to where we are, what we've collected so far in back taxes, and how many properties we've moved through phase 1 or phase 2.
Are the municipalities back to foreclosing properties at this point, or is that there's still that moratorium?
Well,
I don't know.
I understand. So
That was one so short on projects, right? Because they had that moratorium on foreclosures during the pandemic.
we're in the process. I think the plan for the county, I spoke with the treasurer recently. The plan is to still do the online auction. My understanding is that we're pretty close to being prepared to do that. I don't know the exact date, but that is something that I will make a note so that we can give you an update at the next economic development meeting. We should know by then.
Very good. Okay. Any updates on new business, Mr. Cassell?
Yeah, real quick, I'd like to give you an update at every meeting on the business retention program. Already in 2022, we've contacted 16 companies, conducted 6 meetings. With Olin Corporation, we have a meeting with Precious Plate in Wheatfield tomorrow. I've already talked to you about how we're working with our partners at Invest Buffalo Niagara to do economic gardening in Niagara County. So thank you all for your support on that program. I think it's going to be a great program in Niagara County. We've already begun taking applications thanks to Kathy Steinor. She's done a lot of hard work for me on getting all this information out to our businesses. Applications are due by February 25th. We have a local committee that'll get together then and take a look at all those that applied and see which companies are a good fit for the program. The 2022 Virtual Business Workshop Series will begin on March the 2nd with a workshop that's focus is going to be, again, workforce development and training. That is top of mind in economic development over the last several years. So we've got a lot of great partners and presenters for that. There'll be 2 general business workshops again this year on June the 1st and December the 7th. And there'll be another content specific workshop on September 28th, focusing on Canadian businesses. Now, Kathy will be sending all of you, all the legislators, copies of a flyer as well as a link to our Facebook event. And we would like to encourage all of you to share that flyer with any of the businesses in your jurisdictions. Agribusiness Outreach Forum, we continue to work on that. It's our 3rd annual, and it's scheduled for Friday, April 8th. We're going to be using a hybrid format with some in-person folks at Cornell Cooperative Extension and some being virtual. The committee right now is developing a forum speaker list and is working to update the Ag Resource Guide. William Maine Program 2022, we're working hard on that. The mandatory orientation session for business associations is set for Friday, March 4th at 9 a.m. And Empower Niagara, nothing new to report except for the fact that we still have 665 kW of power to allocate. And we are promoting that power not only through our traditional sources, but now through Business First and other digital marketing. And that's my business update this month, Rich.
Very good. Thank you.
Hey, Mike, and those dates that you mentioned, are you sending out an email or anything? So just so because I didn't catch them all, I didn't write them down or anything. Is there something you'll send out or have a calendar or something?
Are you talking about the workshops, Will?
Yeah, the workshops and yeah, all the events you're talking about.
Kathy will be sending out e-newsletters with those dates, right,
Okay.
Kathy?
Yeah, Legislator Collins, after this meeting tonight, I will send out a flyer and a link to the Facebook event for the workforce development one on March 2nd. And then as we finalize for the agribusiness forum and then our general workshops, I'll make sure that all the legislators get those as well.
Okay, thanks. I'll look for it then.
Excellent. Okay, well, I thank you all for joining us today, and call for a motion to adjourn in one moment. Just a reminder that we have our Parks and I'm sorry, ad hoc committee on tourism meeting following at 6:30. Is it 6:30? So if you could stay on the line if you're a part of that meeting. Certainly, we got a number of things to talk about there. If you are not part of that meeting, then we'll dismiss after this. After this is closed. So I got a motion to adjourn by Legislator Bratt, second by Legislator Collins. No questions. All in favor? Aye. And it is carried. Thank you for your
Chairman
time.
Anders, could I just ask that perhaps Chairwoman Whittish and